just too overwhelming. And you listened to them. And then you came and you put your hands on them and you held them and you hugged them and you prayed for them and you counseled them. And you didn't just give them some theological position. Man, you wept with them. You cried with them. You stood with them. And you saw them through all of the junk. And you were there for them. And now these many years later, you're looking at them. And man, they're serving God today. Nobody even knows about it. You were just doing your thing. You are amazing, unsung heroes today. You see, after Moses' father-in-law asked some really good questions, you know what Moses did? Moses came up with some really good answers. He thought, well, father-in-law, you just don't understand what God has called me to do. So let me explain to you why I'm doing what I do. Now, we don't have time to go through all of that, but Jethro sat and he listened to his explanation. And now look at this unsung hero in verse 17. He just looks at his son-in-law and he says, "This is not good." "This is not good," Moses' father-in-law exclaimed. "You are going to wear yourself out and the people too. This job is too heavy of a burden for you to handle all by yourself." I will say it again. I believe if there's no Jethro, there might be no Moses. He had tremendous wisdom. And his advice changed the entire direction of Moses' life and ministry. What if Moses had kept leading the way he was going? Do you think burnout might have come? Do you think something may have fallen apart? His family and his marriage, think about this. If he had no time for the kids, he was too busy doing all he was doing. Could some things have fallen apart along the way? I think he might have burned out under the weight of it all. Moses' excuse was, "God had called me to do this. This is important for the kingdom of God." But his unsung hero, listen to me now, who had walked a few miles ahead of Moses. He looked at his son-in-law. His father-in-law probably had a few grays in his hair. And he said, "Son, I've heard what you're saying, but what you're doing isn't good and it isn't sustainable for the long haul. Son, you're going to lose this ministry, you're going to lose your family, you're going to lose everything, and you're going to burn out." He said, "Son, God didn't call you to lose your marriage and your family, to be burnt out in the process." Thank God for all the unsung heroes who speak truth in love. Thank you. Then Jethro says in verse 19, let's keep going. "Now listen to me, and let me give you a word of advice, and may God continue to be with you.